Okay, this is our last video on simultaneous equations, and we're looking at wordy simultaneous equations here. So really it's just applying what you know, but in kind of wordy context, and it's just kind of recognizing the kind of questions that they ask. And once you recognize them, they're relatively straightforward to do if your work on simultaneous equations from the last two videos is solid. Anyway, let's begin. Right, the question says, a cinema sells adult tickets and child tickets. Right, so we've got adult tickets and we've got child tickets. And it says the cost of 3 adult tickets, okay? So we've got 3 adult tickets and 1 child ticket is equal to £30, okay? And the total cost of 1 adult ticket and 3 child tickets is equal to £22. Right, so what we're trying to do here is, let's just go and say, right, adult, let's go and put adult to equal a letter. Let's just go and use A to make things really clear, okay? And let's go and use child to equal the letter C, because then we can nice and easy write some equations here that we can solve simultaneously to find the cost of an adult and a cost of a child ticket. Okay, right, so the first one, I've got 3 adults, which just means 3A, 3 adults, 3 lots of A. So that's going to write that as 3A. And 1 child ticket, so plus 1 child ticket, which I can just write 1C is the same thing as C. And that has a total cost of £30. So in total, that is equal to £30. So hopefully you can see the idea here, right? We're just kind of forming an equation here from what we're given. And the one below, right, we've got one adult ticket, so 1A or just A, plus 3 child tickets, so plus 3C, is equal to a total cost of £22. And this stuff here we've now seen 100 times before, haven't we, on the previous 2 videos. So let's go and call these equations 1 and equations 2, and let's solve them simultaneously, or algebraically you could say. What is the issue here is, right, you can see that the A parts here are not the same, and the C parts are not the same, so either the A's or the C's must have matching coefficients. I'm going to go make the A parts be the same, because why not? It's the first one that appears. To get the A's to be the same, I can times equation 2 by 3, because then what do I get? I get, well, 3 times A will give me 3A, 3 times by plus 3C is going to give me plus 9C, and 3 times by 22 is equal to 66. So I've manipulated this equation number 2 by timesing it by 3, so really I've changed the equation, so let's go and call it something new like equation number 3. Okay, make that a little bit neater. There we go. Sorry, a bit neater. There we go. Equation number 1, keep it exactly how it is, because this is now useful, because I've now got the A parts are both the same, so 3A plus the C is equal to 30. And then I just cancel out the A parts here. And I do that by not adding them, because adding them would make it 6A. I've got to subtract them. And let's go and do equation 3. Take away equation 1. It is a choice, but this is going to be a better choice because everything will keep positive. So 3A take away A, they cancel. That's the aim of the game. I've eliminated my A part there. I've got 9C take away 1C, which is going to be equal to 8C. And that is equal to 66 take away 30, which is equal to 36. Okay, so this one, right. 8 times what is 36? Or if you're thinking that doesn't quite work out, it does, it's a decimal. But maybe a better way of thinking about it is, right, I'm trying to find C. I've got 8 times C. I've got to divide both sides by 8. Divide by 8, so I get the C part on its own, just balancing or solving an equation here. Solving an equation, sorry. Right, so C is equal to 36 divided by 8, which, without a calculator, because I haven't got one, let's just kind of cancel this down. That's equal to, if I divide top and bottom by 2, that's going to be equal to 18 over 4. Divide by 2 again, it's going to be equal to 9 over 2. So I'm just simplifying fractions here. Okay, you could put it in your calculator, right, and you get straight to this. Or, right, what is 9 divided by 2? Half of 9 is equal to 4.5. So that is my first value. Okay, you could write it as 9 over 2, but probably in this context, in terms of money, keep it as 4.5. It's going to be £4.50, but for the time being, just write it as 4.5. That is, so C is equal to 4.5, my first solution. It's a decimal, that is okay. Right, don't worry about it. Let's keep working. We can check our working at the end anyway. So let's go and substitute in. Let's go and substitute C is equal to 4.5, okay, into any equation that we like. And let's go for equation number 2, because our numbers look a little bit smaller. So I've got A plus 3 lots of C, where C is equal to 4.5 5, and that is equal to 22. So A plus 3 times 4.5 is equal to 13.5, and that is equal to 22. So what at 13.5 is equal to 22? It's going to be 8.5. Okay, really right here, I'm taking away 13.5 from both sides. Take away 13.5, because then what happens here? These guys are gonna cancel, and I found my value of A, which is equal to 22 take away 13.5 is equal to 8.5. Okay, and that is my second solution, 8.5. Right. And let's highlight that. There we go. Right, let's check our work first of all. I'm not quite finished yet. I've got to write this in terms of money, so be a little bit careful with that. So, pen, let's check our working. So let's put in C is 4.5 and A is 8.5 into any equation. Let's go for equation number 1, because we haven't used that one as of yet. So 3 lots of A, where A is 8.5. So 3 times 8.5 plus my C value, which is 4.5, should be equal to 30. 3 by 8.5 is 24, 25.5. Add 4.5 indeed equals to 30. So good, that is correct. Okay, but really, right, the cost of the adult ticket, so let's go and write it up here. So let's use red actually, keep it the same. So the adult ticket, right, we're looking in terms of money here, so be careful with that. Pounds, do you have £8.5? No, it's £8.50. So really, to get the extra mark here, I've got to write adult as being, in money, £8, that's a terrible pound sign, £8.50, not 8.5, and the child ticket, so child, okay, to be, again in terms of money, so 4.5, I've got to write as £4.50. And it is quite important I write it like that to make sure, right, I get, oh, I didn't want that at all. Why has that gone really thin on the highlighter? In fact, I've lost my, what has happened? What has happened here? It's gone invisible, pen. That's really strange. Sorry, my screen appears to have glitched out. What's happened here? Pen. Oh, sorry, the colour is so light that I couldn't see it. Right, sorry, that was pretty silly. Highlighter. There we go. Right, these here are my answers and the way that I should write them. Okay, so child 450, adult 850. Hopefully that's nice and bold and you can see that really clearly. Okay, good. Right, so you can try your turn now, the one on the right. It's the same kind of format, right? It might look confusing, but it's not really. It's just saying we've got 3 teas and 2 coffees equals £7.80, 5 teas and 4 coffees, £4.20. So just to make it clear, right, let's write. So sorry, you can pause the video, give this one a go, and then you can fast forward to the end to see the answers. But let's write this as, well, teas, let's just go and write that, equal to tea, bit of algebra, and coffee, let's write that with a C. So the first one, I've got 3 teas and 2 coffees makes a total of £7.80. So I've got 3 tea, add 2 coffees, so 2C, equals a total of £7.80. The bottom one, I've got 5 teas, add 4 coffees, makes £14.20. So 5 teas, add 4 coffees, makes a total of £14.20. And then these are equations that I've solved a lot of times. I've got decimals over here. It's okay. Don't let that put you off. Let's just work through it step by step. Bit of an issue though, because I have not got matching coefficients. The T parts are different. The C parts are different. I'm going to make them the same. Either of them. It's going to be easiest to make the C parts the same. If I times equation 1 by 2, then that 2C will become a 4C, which matches with that one. So let's do that. Right, 2 times 3T is equal to 6T. 2 times by 2C is plus 4C, and that is equal to 2 times by £7.80, so I couldn't even read my handwriting there, is equal to £15.60, so 15.6. Okay, let's write it like that. That's fine, it means the same thing really. I don't need that 0 to be there for the time being. Let's check that 14, that's good. Okay, I've manipulated equation 1, I times it by 2, it is a different equation. So let's call it equation 3. Equation 2, let's keep it exactly how it is. So 5t plus 4c, which is good because the c parts, they match up, and that is equal to 14.2. And then we can cancel out the c parts here, not by adding them, that would make 8c, but by subtracting either 3 take away 2 or 2 take away 3. Let's go for equation 3 take away 2, because the numbers will keep positive, which is always a good thing. So 3 take away 2, 6t take away 5t is 1t, which is good. And then what happens with those c's here? They cancel, which is good, right? And that is equal to 15.6 take away 14.2 is going to give us 15 take away 14 is 1.4. 1.4. So t is equal to 1.4. That is our first solution, written a little bit strangely. There we go. Highlighter. That is our first solution. Right, to go and find our coffee value now, I could just go and substitute in that t value into any equation of my choice. It doesn't matter. So let's just go and substitute in t is equal to 1.4 into any equation. I'm going to choose equation number 1 because why not? So 3 lots of t, which is 1.4, plus 2c is equal to 7.8. So 3 times 1.4 is 4, 8, 12, 3, 4.2, 4.2, plus 2c is equal to 7.8. Okay, so to get the c, I'm trying to find that variable c. I've got to get rid of that 4.2 to begin with. So let's go and subtract 4.2. Balance method, solving an equation, which hopefully we're getting pretty confident with now. They cancel, which is good. And then I've got over here, I'm left with 2c being equal to 7.8 take away 4.2, which is 3.6. So 3.6. To find c, I've got 2 times c. Let's go and divide both sides by 2. Divide by 2. Okay, which is good. These 2's cancel, which is good. And I'm left with that c, which is perfect. I'm trying to find that value of c, the coffee value, which is equal to 3.6 divided by 2. Well, what's 36 divided by 2? 18, but it's going to be 1.8 because of that decimal. Right, and that is my answer. It's not quite how I should write it. I want it like up here in terms of money, but we'll come to that in a second. First of all, let's do a very important thing, which is to check our answers. Definitely a good thing to always do. So put t is 1.4, c is equal to 1.8 into any equation. Let's choose equation number 2 to mix things up again. So 5 times t, where t is 1.4, so 5 by 1.4, plus 4 lots of c, where c is 1.8, and it should equal to 14.2, hopefully. So 5 by 1.4 is equal to 7, because 10 times 4, 1.4 is 14, half it is 7. 4 times by 1.8 is equal to 7.2. And indeed, that equals to 14.2. That is good. So correct, my values are correct, but just be careful to kind of get the extra mark here. It's in a context, right? There's meaning to the question. It's in terms of money here. We can say that the value of the tea, so work out the cost of 1 tea and 1 coffee. So 1 tea, so the tea, okay, is going to be equal to, in terms of money, 1.4, or money £1.40, and the coffee C is going to be equal to, again in terms of money, which is important, £1.80, and that is my solution. Let's make it really clear, right? This is my answer. It's in terms of money. It's got meaning. It's got context. There we go. Okay, fantastic. That is our, well, first of all, if you got that, that is brilliant. Okay, that's really good. That is our work done on simultaneous equations for the time being. Hopefully those sort of 3 videos on it were useful. Of course, you can always rewind at any point to go through what you need to. Okay, thank you.